my chair is your chair.
Is that your chair? Oh, so you can hurry still.
I love watching trios. Something like Charlie Brown's Christmas or nothing, they're all dancing and they're all doing something different. Right? 3-year-olds give each other permission. I'm glad you're here.
loves her time on the piano. She has won state, regional, local competitions. She has performed on stage at Carnegie Hall. She is the real deal. We can't wait to see where she is going, and we're really appreciative to spend time with us this morning. Other things about Nuno I think you should know, because as a pre-K through 12 school, we like to see our students three-dimensionally, and we don't want them to come simply along one track. So Nuno, I love that you put this in your biography of yourself. Your other interests include art, history, film, science fiction, and video games. Would you share with us, what were you just playing? What was that piece?
So this piece was called Scherzo No. 2, and it's by Frédéric Chopin. So scherzo in Italian actually means joke. So this piece, like, originally, the format of it was supposed to be like, you know, unique and not like anything else, and more a joke. Yeah.
Well chosen this morning. You're a gift to us. Thank you for sharing your talent and the beauty of your music with us this morning. One more round. Thank you. My name is Steve Lipsk. I am your head of school here this year at O'Neill, and as a newcomer, I'm literally 4 months in. I still have a lot to learn about this wonderful community, but I will warn you, I've been in good independent schools in other states, never North Carolina until now, for 36 years. So I do know my way around schools, and I will confess to you, I love this type of event. It is normal for schools, and I was thrilled when I found that O'Neill does Family Special Friends Day. In its beginnings, it was called Grandparents' Day, and then sometimes evolved to Grand Friends, and here it's evolved to Special Friends. So you're a wonderful, eclectic mix of adults who care for children that are not necessarily your own. They may be grandchildren, they may be nephews and nieces, they may be neighbors, they may be simply children of your friends. But thank you for coming out. We love putting this together just before Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is a marvelous national holiday for us here in the States that really does draw families and people together. So we believe we have a better chance of capturing a larger audience for our lower school students if we put this just before we break into our Thanksgiving holiday. So thanks for coming out to be part of this. This morning you're going to see most of our lower school. I have to confess, we missed something in our administrative planning. Our 4th graders are off campus today on a field trip. The tickets were bought back in July before we caught the conflict. So you will not see all of the lower school this morning, but as you sit, I hope, comfortably in these chairs, you will see each of our grade levels, beginning with our 3-year-olds in pre-kindergarten, up through 3rd grade. We're going to come perform for you on stage. So you will see the progression. You'll notice it in their stature. They get a little bigger each year as they go through, and it is delightful. I was just chatting with Judy McDonald, who's in the back, and she is a fantastic teacher of art in our lower school. So she knows these children really well, and she certainly knows O'Neill. And she just let me know her favorite are the youngest. She loves to see the 3-year-olds come on stage. You have to know what you're going to get. So that is part of the delight. I would say this in any setting, but I don't think we're ever going to pull together as delightful and as energetic and as wonderful an audience as you represent here today. I want to say thank you, particularly to those of you who are grandparents. You did not let us down, because we know that grandparents do not show up late. You are going to be early. And the first thing I heard before I got in, I was in my office in another building. He's like, they're here, they're early. And so you have lived up to that. But please know, we are thrilled that you're here with us to celebrate ultimately the growth and really healthy development of kids. You'll notice in a school like ours, as you move around a little bit through the day, this is a beautiful campus. We have 40 acres here. Thank goodness it was given to this school when the school was founded in 1971. We have 5 major buildings. 3 of them are dedicated to each of our 3 divisions. Today, the focus for you will be lower schools, and it is this direction. We do have a middle school that's just over here, and an upper school that is over on this side. So part of what makes us different from the majority of schools in our country is that we bring the whole range of 3-year-olds to 18-year-olds together in one campus. They eat in shifts, obviously, during different stages, but they all ultimately are going to have lunch in the same place. There's one library that they're all going to go to. So they really do share this campus. So we really celebrate that we are able to create a culture here in which students grow well across ages. And I am convinced of this and have been long since. Our older kids carry themselves differently because they know their younger eyes watching. And our younger kids, I promise you, look up to the big kids and they really notice them. Some are going to be their babysitters sometimes, so you get those sort of cross reinforcements. But they notice the big kids, and here it is a delight because there's a core culture within O'Neill that really is able to celebrate this, and it is positive. So thanks for coming out. I hope you get a sample of that before you leave today. The other piece I'm going to comment on, I am a former history teacher, and since becoming an administrator 20-some years ago, I lost my dedicated captive audience to talk history, so I can't stand in front of you without briefly acknowledging the beauty of this holiday that we're about to go into called Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving does remind us of the early European beginnings on this continent with the Pilgrims who came over, as you know, in 1620. A congregation in Scrooby, England, in the Midlands, who felt that their kids were being carried too far in one direction in more popular culture. So they actually fled first to the Netherlands, a very tolerant society, and they felt they could practice religion as they wanted. But they found after about 10 to 15 years that the kids, the new generation, were becoming too much like the Dutch around them. So they were afraid their vision would become lost. So they got together and they ended up banding together in the southwest of England, kicked off from there in 2 ships, only one proved to be seaworthy. So the Speedwell goes back and they're all on the Mayflower. If you've ever seen a replica of the Mayflower, it is not a large ship. It was cramped, it was tight, that was a long voyage coming across. They came later in the season and they should have really planned to come. It was not particularly well financed, and they're outside the bounds of where they can get permission to go. But they find a land, and they land, of course, at Plymouth Rock, and a land that, as they saw it, was cleared by God, so this must be this place they should land. Interesting, fascinating story. I like the excitement we're getting from the floor. But they were helped along. So part of the beauty of this story of Thanksgiving, of course, is the way you take the newcomers, the settlers coming from England, and the Native Americans, who do create this feast. It's a harvest feast, in short, of really good bounty. And the New England soil, shorter growing season we have in this part of the country, but it was still a really bountiful land. And they really did create this feast together. The Pilgrims were truly helped by a Native American named, they knew him as Squanto. Squanto's story itself is fascinating. So Squanto had been abducted as a young child and had sailed the Mediterranean and the Atlantic, serving ship's captains for probably 2 decades or more, was fluent in about 5 or 6 different languages. So he literally walks into the camp and says, "Welcome, Englishmen." Remarkable. But part of the reason he does this, he arrived back and smallpox had decimated everyone who was part of his tribe. He had no people. So this was a man who was lost and was looking to be useful in the world. So the Pilgrims were a happy arrival for him. Fascinating story into itself. But I love the fact that we're able to celebrate something that we find that is really positive and joyful, and is about giving thanks for what we have and we celebrate as a country. Curiously, though, we did not adopt this as a national holiday until, does anyone know when? It was during the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln is president. And not a surprise, there was a single voice that was behind this repeated request that had come across many, many times before the men heard it. It was a female voice saying, we need to celebrate as a nation gratitude and to be able to show appreciation. We need to be reminded of what we're thankful for, particularly at a time when we're at war and life is so hard. So Thanksgiving was adopted as a federal holiday during the Civil War, and I think we're really fortunate to have it today. Thank you for coming out to celebrate with us as we go in. If you want to talk more history with me anytime, I enjoy getting into it. I do want to tip my hat. You've heard from Cassie Cloninger already. She spoke briefly out in our atrium. Cassie is our lower school head for the youngest portion of early childhood. And Jenny Wiley, you'll hear from before we leave today. But we're about to see the music teachers come forward with each of the grade levels, and the teachers will help us take the stage. Once your special friend has performed, please do not leave. Stay in your seats. We're going to let every class perform before we'll direct you where to go and how to connect with your special friend once all the classes have come through. Fair enough? All right. Great to see everybody. Thanks for coming out and being such a good audience.
This is kindergarten JK, and they are singing Autumn Leaves Are Falling Down and, the Alien song. fun today, I meant to say this last group, but I forgot. I thought it'd be fun today to showcase some different things that we do in music. So a lot of like our songs that I call our fun songs. We do a lot of movement with these songs, or sometimes we'll play little instruments, and the kids, like you can tell, they really love these. This is first grade, and we are singing The Wise Man and the Foolish Man and Going on a Bear Hunt.
Great king tumble
second grade is singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game and Miss Mary Mack. All right, third grade, the fun thing about third grade today is everything that they are doing, they have designed themselves. So they're starting off with a song called Four White Horses. The copying routines they have designed themselves. And then they will switch to I Love the Mountains. And they have some movement in there, and again, they designed it themselves. So this has been really fun. We've had really fun with this.
Hey, 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 up Bertagnole a big round of applause.
She is so amazing with our students. I also, while I'm up here, I want to give a big shout out if she's in here. Bev, where are you? Bev O'Donnell. Is she in here?
She just walked out.
Oh, man. When you see her, let's give her a round of applause. She was working behind the scenes along with our parent association and a lot of volunteers to make this the best day ever for you and for our students. And we thank you for being here again today. You know, I think every day should be a dress-up day. They have been so good today. And I think some of those dance moves might have come from some people in here, so who knows? We do have a change. When you get to your classroom, we're going to dismiss you in just a second by sections. But when you get to your classroom, you're going to get a passport, and you're going to spend some time in the classroom. And then for the older, not the pre-Ks, but the older kids, you're going to get to peruse around the campus just to some of their other places, and they get to stamp their passport. There is a change. We have some photography stations for you. We want to make sure that we capture the day. We have 2 photography stations. One is in the lower school atrium in McMurray Hall. The other one, it says, hello, there we go. It says on the passport that it is in Bradshaw Hall. It's actually here, out here in the Hannah Center atrium. So make sure you make that note. You don't have to go to both of them. We offer 2 different places so that there's not a line, okay? But we do want to capture the moment. Thank you again. Cassie and I are so appreciative of your support. We love these kids, and we wish you all a great Thanksgiving. You're going to enjoy the rest of your morning with us. At this time, we would like our pre-K 3 and 4 families to dismiss. You're going to find your person with the sign, and they're going to take you to the lower school. Everyone else just sort of hang out. So pre-K 3 and pre-K 4. You'll find your person with the sign, and they'll get you to your next location. And if I were as talented as Nunu, I would be playing for you, but I'm not. So.
Yeah, she might be a memory.
Our next group of students will be our junior kindergarten and our kindergartner special families. If you'll follow the kindergarten group out, and JK, junior kindergarten, you will find your person. They will get you to your next location. While we're waiting, I also want to give a shout out to Ward Productions in the back for helping us this morning. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Those mighty, exciting first graders, special people, find the first